I'm gonna call this regular session meeting of Perry Township Board of Trustees. Order, first order of business, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, I might be.
So I gotta tell you a story.
Come on, let's go.
Are you one of them fast talking horse?
Okay. So I gotta tell you a story.
Oh, goody.
Monsignor Grimes, Our Lady of Peace, God rest his soul. There was a football game on he wanted to watch at 11:30 mass. And the choir was not singing fast enough. He could sing faster. You get that mass over in 20 minutes. There you go. No,
I remind you of them. Those are always the best sermons, the ones that you were in and out in half an hour. All right,
Make sure you pass that collection, buddy.
public comment period. We don't have the county sheriff here. We'll go to Brookside.
Nothing.
Regular session meeting?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you know what, I'll come back to that. You know what, you let me run my meeting, okay? All right. Brookside,
I mean, other than the obvious ongoing items, nothing new to report.
okay, Worthing Mills.
We had a public meeting, AEP project off of, Dolliver, not Dolliver, what am I thinking? Is it Dolliver? Yeah. My brain going, Netherland Place, Blackstone, so I appreciate, everyone chipping in for that. I think it went well. Surveyors are supposed to be out tomorrow. And communication is a little bit better, I hopefully, with the residents. And, so I think we did a good deed in the sense of connecting all the right people at this point in time, so.
Okay, Epcot Rebel.
I had to think, one thing on my list had to do with the ballards, and are we painting? We should the front of that.
Yeah, we're not painting the road.
Okay, no, we're good. Ravello is gonna get a street light through AEP. It's gonna be like the street light that Epcot has. They're gonna put it on that post near their entrance. So it could give you a heads up.
Hopefully, I hadn't seen any more emails.
They put that on order, so. And I did thank the deputy director for the guardrail.
Okay, I choose to go to the minutes section. I'm looking for an approval of the regular session minutes of August 18th.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Vote,
Yes.
yes. Okay, we're gonna move down to zoning now. Or maybe road.
but did you want to check?
I'm not sure.
Dealer choice.
Road department for 600.
Zoning.
A lot going on this week. As Chad said, guardrail to get put up down at 56.2 Riverside. No report on getting a gate up yet. But the police department does have Andrew's contact number in the event. Then the 1366 Foreign Drive property. I'm not getting any communications from them. I've emailed and called several times. So I am looking to possibly move on to a permanent nuisance property at the next Township Board meeting if nothing happens between now and then. What are you
Details of that property that.
Well, there's several dead trees on the property, one of which is leaning over Oakmore Drive. Ian and I went out and looked at it. And the bottom of the tree was rotted out. It's a pretty good sized tree. It's in jeopardy of falling into the road. There's 4 dead trees on the north side of the driveway. A few dead trees in the backyard, and the growth back there, saplings and weeds are about 6-7 foot tall. The whole backyard.
So next meeting, we'll take care of the resolution.
That's, like I say, if nothing happens between now and then, like I say, trying to get in contact with them. The one phone number is no longer working. And I've left, in the last couple of days, I've left 3 messages on the other phone, and just today I was out knocking on the door. Both cars in the driveway. So I think we're gonna have to take this into township's hands and correct it before it ends up hurting somebody or
Is there any poison ivy on that tree?
there's poison ivy around the tree. Huh?
There's poison ivy on that tree.
I know, I walked in and saw it and walked right back out.
So there's a lot of poison ivy on the property, you know, well, everywhere you walk, because poison ivy.
And then we have our Brookside Country Club Development Plan modification application for September 24th, correct?
Yes.
And, John, you wanna, this, your discussion about us getting involved in not having that.
I called Max to set up a meeting, with the residents and him and the club. Max said that their president and their board prefer that the township not be involved in any of their communications with the residents. They already had, some meetings set up with the folks who are directly impacted and then another meeting with the whole community. He had met with a couple days before I talked to him, he met with Matt Wagner. They actually rode the whole golf course in a golf cart, showing him why things needed to be, they were, the way they were gonna be and why none of the options that were presented were feasible. He said, according to Max, Matt was like, I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is and we'll have to live with it. So, but they simply don't want us to be involved. They want to kind of do this on their own, so we'll see where we're at on the 24th. We've offered.
Yeah. Road department.
Under old business, project updates, the, road improvement project on Candlewood. Decker's planning to be back on that, mid-September. They had a project complete in Jefferson Township and Prairie Township ahead of our work.
But they were so gracious as to come in to finish the school.
Yes, they pulled off of this work to come in and get the school done. The Safe Routes to School Sidewalk Project, the most recent schedule still has them starting the sidewalk September 8th in Worthington Hills and September 23rd in Brookside. About a week on both, 2 weeks on Brookside is what they're planning. for
It
that.
shouldn't, do you think it'll take a week for Worthington Hills? It's like a.
Worthington Hills, it's only a couple days really in the schedule.
Okay.
Ian, do you know if they're digging out all of the different pieces? Or are they just doing one at a time? Do you know, on Brookside?
They're gonna section it out, but, yeah. For driveways, we're gonna meet with Strasburg prior to them digging to kind of get a plan on how parking along McVeigh is gonna work out. They're not gonna be able to still play a lot of that.
Oh, you mean
The access in and out the driveway.
They're not gonna be able to?
They're not gonna be able, not with the width and the grade that they need to.
So, and I know you've communicated with the residents. Do they already know that? You know, we can't do that?
I've communicated that with a few of them, yes. But I plan on meeting with Strasser prior to them starting to work in Brookside to come up with a game plan for parking, and driveway access while they're on site doing the work, and I will share that with the residents
Okay.
once I know the plan.
If or when you're ready, I am happy to help with those communications.
That's fine.
I need to, there's several of those folks I know fairly well. I
That's
can connect to.
And I've been talking to.
Oh, I'm
few
sure,
of
I
them
know you have.
regularly.
I'm thinking about they're just gonna have to park on the next street over. Is that kind of the idea? Or
We're
in their
looking
yards,
in the
depending on.
yards. In the yard is what we're kind of looking at.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm a little dense in general, but I'm a little denser tonight. How are we communicating with residents about the parking lot? I mean, what's
What
the,
we've emailed.
what is the vehicle in which we're communicating?
Well, I've got several of their emails.
Okay,
I went door to door and passed out door hangers and knocked. I will do that again when I know.
Good job. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. That's it for project updates. No parking on Circle on the Green. John sent out some kind of templates I put together. I don't know what your thoughts on those. I brought this is one they use in Ravello and Epcon. Reference a size for no parking. I don't think one sign is gonna be enough for Circle on the Green. I think we're gonna need probably at least 3. And then we need to decide, do we want the outside or the inside? I believe the inside circle makes more sense with visibility.
Well. Saying this, I think
You start.
it kind of talking to a couple of neighbors, sort of off the record. People are gonna be up in arms about this. And it's gonna be like our street's treated differently, no other street has this. This is really only an issue when college kids are home during the summer. We have 8 college kids within like 5 houses of us. And they all have cars anymore, right? And they just park in the street. Which side of the street you gonna park on? You know, it just by happenstance, most of the people live on the outside. If they park on the inside, people aren't gonna be keen on that because I have a hard time mowing my lawn when, somebody's parked right there, up at the curb and, meters hang over the lawn. I can't, turn my lawnmower on, but I don't know. It's a bit of a slippery slope. Yeah, I talked a little bit with Andy about it too. We've never had an actual problem with a vehicle not getting through. And the streets have been there for 50 years that way. But people have more cars now than they ever had. But, I don't know.
So what, first of all, I would not like us to do something unless we are clearly understanding the wishes of the residents in that area. Because they know where he lives. Okay, they probably know where we all live, but they really know where he lives. So I don't want to put him, if it's only a situation, it only occurs in the summer every once in a while. I really think this is like killing an ant with a sledgehammer. And people will view it as, those who do not want it will view it as, why are we being treated differently than everybody else who's not the same situation? Why can't you address the issue? And not just doing this holistic, approach. I don't want to do something unless I got, the entire street or a vast majority of them saying, hey, we want no parking because of X, Y, and Z. I just don't think it's a good policy, a good practice.
Well, this was more my initiation only because when I was out one day getting my whatever recycle can. And they were coming around getting the regular garbage, and cars were parked on both sides of the street. That Rumpke truck was threading a needle. And he was crawling through there, just missing cars on both sides. I'm thinking, I think a ladder truck's bigger than that. And I don't know if it would get through there. And then I think somebody said they were up there, and there was like a pool party up there. And they had whatever, it's like a graduation party, you probably have 15 or 20 cars there and they park on both sides of the street. And it's curved too, that makes a difference as well. It's a little tighter, but I just think there's more, there's going to be a big negative reaction by a lot of people. Like, now I got cars parked, if I live on the inside, and I can see parking on the inside. I would be super thrilled with that because I live on the inside, but the people on the outside already have fire hydrants and mailboxes.
Yeah.
So that probably doesn't make sense to put cars on the side of the street where there's mailboxes and fire hydrants. People on the inside of the street are gonna be going, I got cars parked in front of my house now that I've never had before. This just seems like this is.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm fine with whatever. I think we could try to educate the residents with some
Well,
e-blasts.
I just had a quick thing, so police, if they see that, are they allowed to go in and say, hey, you know, we have.
Public roadway. You can, it's public road, I can park on both sides of the road as many cars as I want.
But they can't,
Can
they
they
can't
ask?
use that for like, hey, if we have to get a ladder truck.
Well, you can tell people
The
that.
ladder truck's gonna come through and basically get to their destination.
You can tell, from a legal perspective, there is nothing the police can do to make a person not park on a street.
Okay, I was just saying, but they
Yeah,
could
no,
stop
I
and
mean-
ask,
You can always ask,
right?
but if I'm having a pool party and I got 20 people at my house, and I say, can you move these cars? They're gonna say, where? And no matter where you park on the circle, you're gonna create that.
Right.
That needle. So, and again, I don't disagree with what you guys are saying. I think that it is setting that neighborhood up to be a little different than everybody else, but it is also perfectly legal to be on the street if it's not posted. So
Well, I'm not voting for it because the sign's not made 24 karat gold. So
Right. I put it out there,
Well,
I had the design and everything.
I'm kind of moving, we, should table this and. We know there's a potential issue, I just don't know if we need to bring out, like Jeff says, killing an ant with a sledgehammer. It's maybe there's, park closer to the curb, that kind of thing, try to avoid parking directly across from another car on the other side of the street,
Message it.
those kind of things.
like a general message, as a reminder. I mean, summertime seems to be probably the most,
Right.
The June through August thing, and maybe it's something we could try to message through general emails or newsletter and just try to start drilling in the message to people.
That's a little newsletter filler thing, so.
Yeah, that'd be easy to bundle with reminding people not to put dumpsters in the roadway as well. What you can and can't do in the public roadway.
We could put that in there during snow too, cause there's a lot of street where we can't get through.
We'll do a whole newsletter.
We'll have a second, every newsletter will have
every-
a section dedicated to that.
Every one newsletter to all things road.
Well,
right
email.
away,
This
right.
upcoming one will have a team around Beggars Neck.
Well, people put their leaves on the curb like they're supposed to out on the street, you really can't pull them. It's just not right.
Anything else?
That's all we have.
Fire and EMS?
there is, some stats from UA, but Steve didn't give them to me, so, the stats. So I'm not sure what they are.
Police department?
Nothing under old business, under new business. I need a motion to authorize the sale of car 163 to the city of Youngstown. Police department in the amount of $21,000 and to authorize me to execute the transfer of the title on behalf of the Board of Trustees.
I make that motion to, sell her car to my hometown of Youngstown.
Second vote,
Yes.
yes. Anything else under police, going to administrator?
Okay, legal updates, Epcon, Ravello, TIF, we still need to have some folks appointed to the TIF review board. One of those persons has to be a resident, one has to be somebody from the school, one has to be somebody from the vocational school, the county auditor, and a representative that represents the board, and I think the board agreed that that would be Becky. So what we're still looking.
But it's Dublin School, or
No, it's
is it
Worthington.
Arlington?
It was Worthington.
I did too, and I called the superintendent, and then I backtracked, and I thought, well, that TIF is on Riverside Drive.
Dublin.
And
Okay,
so
so
I need to know which superintendent to call. Cause
let me find out, I'll make a note of
I
it.
think it's Dublin.
I think you're right.
And
Yeah.
don't,
Do you know where, I don't know if anybody knows this, the Dublin use Union County is their
vocational,
vocational school, or do they use Delaware County?
That's a good question. I don't
I
know.
think it's toll.
We can find out when we call.
Hmm?
I
I think it's tolls. I think you're right.
It's
I
what?
think it's toll. I was looking at a breakdown on the taxes here.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure it's tolls.
Yeah,
Well, if we confirm the school district, that'd be a great start.
I'll just make a call to Dublin.
Give them an address down there.
I have a friend that's a teacher over there.
Problem with the 55 and older neighborhood is you don't have many kids in the neighborhood, so it's stuff that's the residents where your kids go to school.
They'll have a map,
Yeah, they'll have, I mean, they'll know.
school.
Okay, so we'll kind of table this to the next meeting, but we need to kind of be thinking about that. IT transition is really going pretty smoothly. These guys have been in here every day, helping, they're knowledgeable, they're quick, they're responsive. If you have a problem, you need to go through their help desk. Everybody monitors that. They will get somebody back to you within an hour to help you deal with your problem. So, the transition has gone way smoother than we could have hoped or,
You really gonna say that out loud? I'm
Sorry.
I thought they were great.
Well, Luke, you've done a great job managing that.
Who did I work with?
I think it was David who you met with, yeah.
He was great. Joe was great at helped us too.
Yeah, so if you're still having issues switching over to the new town, get your new email and all that stuff working, you call in, set up an appointment, they'll get it all straightened out for you. They've been excellent.
I don't think there's a need to talk anymore about the cottage development. We've kind of beat that one up. We are looking at, we talked about this before, and Ian has been trying to get a hold of his guy that currently does drug testing for us in emergency well, not emergency situations, but for the ODOT and, I tell you, I hate being
A random.
random. There you go. Thanks. I couldn't think of that word. Such a random word too. So we're looking to compare prices. We got some prices from Work Health, which is Mount Carmel. They're the service we use to do all of our physicals and things for new hires at the police department. They don't have a 24-hour-a-day facility, so there's a $255 call out for an emergency. The drug test itself is $52. There is a confirmation fee of $45. So to have an emergency call out, we're looking between $400 and $500 for a drug test. Ian's kind of working to see what his guy would charge. So when we get those comparisons, we'll come back to the board with that. This blood testing issue has been something that has bothered me since I've been here. Fairly large amount of our employees don't know what their blood type is. I don't know why they just don't donate blood. Red Cross will tell you, but they don't. We can offer through HealthWorks our employees to get a blood draw and know what their blood type is, so we can put it on their IDs in the event somebody is hurt while at work, it's a serious injury, and they have to go to the hospital. They know what their blood type is. The time it would take if somebody gets hurt to determine your blood type after you're injured could be the difference between surviving and dying. With that being said, I'm not asking for a vote tonight. I want you guys to think about this. Should we offer that as a service and should we pay for it? It's like I said, it's $23 a draw. This is done through HealthWorks, which we are already a part of through our insurance programs. But I just think it's critical that all of our employees have their blood type listed on their IDs.
When you say their IDs, are you referring specifically to the police department?
No, every employee has an employee ID card.
Oh, shows what I know. I don't have one. Do you have one?
I don't think so.
So you guys are elected.
No. Oh, so just I'm sorry. I know I'm thank you.
But I would just like on this, like on mine, I know what mine is, and it says on here, but most of the folks don't know their blood type here. And again, I don't know why they just don't. If you go to the Red Cross one time,
I mean.
no, unless you ask for it to be, that's a specific blood test they have to run, Michelle. And I don't know why they,
Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm not questioning you. I'm just curious.
We're not, looking to an attorney. We're not in violation of anything, right? I mean, having the blood type on their.
No,
I mean, I would
No.
imagine as long as they opted in, like,
Yeah,
we're not
here's-
forcing it.
We're good.
here's, the US military, I talked to Brian still about this. Relative to what the FOP thinks, we can't mandate it, Chet,
Okay,
because it is a HIPAA violation,
okay,
okay? But if they volunteer to do it, then the lodge is okay with it, and Brian is strongly recommending that it be done. The military, believe it or not,
they don't,
No, well, they have.
well, they tattoo it on you.
Mm-hmm.
They tattoo your blood type on your body. So that you, in case something
My
bad
husband didn't
happens,
do that.
they know.
Huh, my husband, they just had it on their dog tags, they didn't.
That's where they put it.
That Brian
He
said
wasn't
they
in on
tattooed
that,
it.
I'm not, I'm.
But
I
anyway,
think it makes sense for police officers, because you, they're gonna have.
what about the road crew?
again, I'm thinking about the road crew.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, when was it that Will got hurt in the assault?
Yeah.
About all your staff, and they
Yeah.
have paper.
So something like that would be.
Could be. Yeah, today,
But it,
we might needed it today.
the longest thing in a blood transfusion is a cross match. It's fairly easy to get a blood type on somebody. But just because you know a blood type, that doesn't mean you're running A positive back into them. You gotta do a cross match. And it takes like 15 minutes to do that. Otherwise, it's just an emergency situation. You would just give, universal blood anyway. So it's not, I mean, I know it sounds like it's gonna cut down time, but the slowest time in that whole period, is you're waiting on a cross match to make sure the blood's compatible once you know the blood type, but you know the blood type pretty quick.
Okay,
Anyway,
But if people wanna do it, I think we ought to pay for it, and they want that on their badge, I mean, there's a comfort level there.
yeah, I think we should, we actually talked about this back when I was chief and I had asked the guys to get it done. And nobody went to do it.
But if somebody's bleeding out and they know the blood type, they'll give them uncross matched blood. Because what's the alternative? Okay, you have an adverse reaction, but that's better
Better than,
and bleeding out.
than bleeding out.
You're not Brandon's turn.
No, I mean, I mean, I see
Like-
it for the police, but I also see it for brothers.
I see it, well,
I can see it for everybody, but I mean,
Well, you might as well let them opt in. I mean, at
Right.
that point, if we're offering it to, you're talking about a small number of people, other than that.
again, I just think we make it available.
I know.
It's $23 a pop, I think.
It's almost 17 years old.
Just say we'll pick up the tab.
I have a question for you, John. Is that something they'd be able to do here, or would they have to be somewhere else off site?
no,
I think HealthWorks folks will actually come here and set up the blood draws.
No, only reason I ask is because we typically have the flu shots and stuff here. We probably time it to be around
That'd be
similar
good.
time. That would.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we weren't going flu shots this year
No, well,
here because,
I don't-
who did I talk to that told me, we haven't done them here for several years.
No, we
maybe we
always
got big
offered
enough
it, we offered it, but nobody, we didn't
We
have
didn't have
enough
enough.
to do it.
They took-
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, so many.
This was last year though, but prior to that, we had enough people.
Yeah, it was always Minute Clinic that did it.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
We could send out a.
You know, why don't we just send out a form, say, hey, we're thinking about doing this, would you opt in, opt out, and
Yeah.
then get back, and if it's.
See if we have enough.
If we have enough,
If we
then we
can
can
do
do
enough,
it.
we don't transfer.
okay, very good.
Okay.
I need under new business, I need a motion from the board to officially change Amanda Cabine's job title to Assistant Township Administrator. We haven't done that.
That's all I think.
I move to update Amanda Klein's job title to Assistant Township Administrator.
Second,
Vote?
Yes.
Yeah.
abstain.
Okay. We need to set a Records Commission meeting date for the approval of the new RC2 schedule.
Yeah, the records commission is required to meet at least once annually. I do have a draft. As a reminder, the commission just consists of Michelle, fiscal officer, and current chair of the board. So you, Andy.
Next meeting,
Yeah, we can do it before or after the next meeting.
or 5:30,
Go for a time of 1 minute, because all I need is a
Yeah.
motion.
quarter till,
Quarter till.
That would be perfect.
5:55,
Yep,
5:58,
we might be able to.
okay.
There are two motion, or three motions. Motion to approve minutes, motion to approve schedule, motion to adjourn. I
All right,
think
we'll do it at 5:50 next meeting.
Hey,
Alright.
real quick, it is tolls, just to confirm.
It is
that
tolls?
one. Mhm.
Thank you. Okay. Then I need a motion to declare the items on your agenda as obsolete or unusable. If I could get that, we will get rid of those items. Some of them will be sold on, I should say we're going to dispose of them, but some of those are going to be sold on gov deals.
Let's see, I'll move to declare the items below: couch from building 2, backpack, fogger, hard side rifle case, and 2 traffic counting units as obsolete.
Second,
Vote,
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Jim and I had some conversation, and this is not on the agenda, so,
Well, that always worries me when he starts with that.
Mr. Chairman, if you want to discipline me later, that's fine. But we've got the contract for the police negotiated, everything's fine. All the other employees are where they need to be, but we had to sit down and negotiate with Chief Cicero and Lieutenant Conkle. They're not covered by the FOP contract. There was a desire to increase the percentage difference between the lieutenant and the sergeant. There was a 4% difference between those two. There is a 13.5 or 14% difference.
No, we can do that.
No,
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry. We began to look at all the numbers. And what we haven't done is we haven't counted the take-home cars as part of compensation packaging. Those cars are worth $10,000 a year. Actually, they're worth a little more than $10,000 a year, but, so when we began to look at that, that distance between the sergeant and the lieutenant really is 14%.
Which is in line with everybody else.
Which is in line with everybody else. So we have made an offer to the chief and to the lieutenant that they can either give up their cars, which we will sell, and then put the money back into the budget, or they can keep their cars and stay where they're at pay-wise. If they give up their car, we're gonna bump that rank $10,000, which is what that car is worth a year, but it's a one-time bump. Lieutenant Conkle has opted to keep his car. Chief Cicero has opted to give up his car. So I will need 2 motions. I need a motion to allow Mike Conkle to maintain his car as a part of his compensation package, and Chief Cicero to give up his car and receive a $10,000 bump as part of his compensation package. And that maintains the difference between all the ranks. And so I need a motion for that.
Well, I'll make a motion first with respect to the lieutenant that he gets the same pay raise as the rest of the police officers, which is a 3.5% raise. And included in his compensation package, he's elected to keep his car that we provide to him with insurance and gas and that kind of thing, which we value at approximately $10,000. So Mike will keep his car and receive a 3.5% raise. And that's what the motion is.
Second.
Vote,
Yes.
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 For the chief, he has elected to not have a car, so we can sell that car. We don't have to pay insurance on that car. We don't have to pay gas for that car. So he will get a $10,000 payment in lieu of that, and that takes him to about the mid-pack and Chiefs. Right now, he's the lowest, I think, on at least the county or the entities that are close to us in size in Franklin County. That puts him right in the middle. And then he gets a 3.5% raise, not on that $10,000, but on his 2024 salary.
I'm sorry, just to be clear, the $10,000 is a lump sum payment?
Or
Is that what
they
you're
bump
saying?
it just out, talking,
No,
But I mean,
in 2026, Michelle, it'll be a one-time bump of $10,000.
in his salary,
No, it's a
it's a lump sum payment.
lump sum payment.
That's what I was saying, okay.
Yes, and that is going to, that money will come out of the sale
Of the vehicle.
of his vehicle.
but he only gets that 10,000 1 year.
One year, just once. And that'll be in 2026. But his 3.5% raise will be based on his 24 salary going into January of 26.
So each year you would have the option, I either will take $10,000 or I'll take a car.
No, that $10,000 is one time.
Okay,
Mike's 10,000, his car is, he's gonna keep that every year, but that cash bump is a one-time bump. The value of that car is $10,000, so that creates the distance for Mike.
But it wouldn't, but next year, the distance will not exist because you won't keep maintaining that $10,000. Go with me on this. So Steve makes $100,000, okay, he's gonna get 3.5% increase on the $100,000.
right.
Plus he's gonna get like a $10,000 payment for 1 year. Then the second year, he doesn't get that 10,000 doesn't have like $110,000 in his salary, he has another 100,000 plus whatever, 3.5%.
I thought he would get the 10,000 each year, he doesn't have the car.
That's what
Why
I
would you,
thought.
why would you ever give up the car then?
That's what I'm saying. Because when we said, hey, Lieutenant, you wanna give up the car, I see his point, I would keep the car at that point, because that's a value year after year after year. Whereas what I'm hearing you say is that Steve's only gonna get a value of $10,000 for 1 year, not year after year after year.
And
It's a-
honestly, I thought of it a different way. I thought it was a $10,000 bump to his annual
Salary.
salary and then
It should be,
3.5% on a go
it
forward.
should be amortized over a year, because just say you quit in, not that in January, you quit in February. You know, each month we're paying for that car,
Am I thinking this
right? We're paying,
No, you're right. It should be, I'm just using a hypothetical. If Steve's making 100, his salary goes to 110, and that goes for ever. Like, it doesn't matter whether he has a car, because
it's not really a
otherwise we
salary,
gotta
his salary is
buy.
gonna be 100, and he's not gonna get a 3.5% bump
The
each year.
differentiation
on the
wouldn't exist
10,000.
anymore in the second.
He's gonna get, you're either gonna get each year, you're either gonna get a car, or you're gonna get $10,000 over that year.
I see.
Okay, but you're saying over the year where in practicality, it would, unless you're breaking it out like a monthly payment.
I think it should be a monthly payment.
Okay.
Because,
Okay, so then, so it's not a lump sum, it's
Right.
some sort of,
Okay, that makes sense what you're saying.
because you're getting that car on a monthly basis.
It's painful for him.
well,
I think we're making.
it's hard for me, yeah, I'd like to
Each,
keep it.
each year, those positions have a choice. You're gonna get your salary plus 3.5%.
But we're not gonna buy a car. In the
Every
second
year,
year,
right.
Steve says, hey,
I changed my mind.
I changed my mind, I want a car. We're not gonna go out and buy a car. You know what I'm saying?
This
Yeah.
decision is forever.
Because it's also not gonna be a $10,000 car then, at that
Right.
point, if we had to go out and
Yeah.
buy a new
Right,
car.
so it's like, so to me, he's opting, because every year that car's worth $10,000, right?
Right.
So every year he's giving that up. It's not like what Chet was saying, it's not gonna go up this year to 110 and then in 2027 go back
Go
down
back
to
to
100.
100.
Right.
So he should be up to 110 because he's opting out of that car.
If the goal is
It's a
to keep the differentiation.
But again, he's gonna get, we'll just amortize the 10,000 over a year. you don't get to add a 3.5% increase every year to that 10,000.
Oh, no, I mean,
That's
that's what Mike,
That's a separate little line item.
Right.
Either you get a car or you get $10,000. It's like,
So-
let's make a deal, right?
Was there some, and was there something that written that you went over with Steve and or Mike so they are in agreement? I mean, I hate for the board to approve something,
No, they both said
That is-
that's what they want.
but we just all interpreted that 4 different ways. So I'm just curious what their interpretation is.
just make that clarification with
We,
you,
we will,
and then we'll,
we will table this until I'll get something in writing.
yeah.
You and I can work on it.
Perfect.
But we need to get this wrapped up because we're heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, I
agree.
don't think anybody's obviously opposed to the idea. It's
No,
simply like.
We-
I just think, well, we got another meeting in 10 days.
Right. I think the problem is that we have never considered those vehicles. Can't say that. I always considered my car part of my compensation package. That's why I never came in and asked for a raise from you folks.
Right.
But conversation I had was that it's really just a piece of issued equipment to me. And well, it's not. Your gun and your nightstick and your uniforms are issued equipment. Your car is part of your compensation. That was not the mindset until we began to have this conversation about raising this percentage between the ranks. Because when I said, well, what's that car worth? Well, it's my car. It's, you know, you guys give that to me, a piece of my equipment to come to work.
Do you still carry nightsticks?
I carry a slapjack.
That, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely part of the compensation
Okay.
package. I agree.
Okay, so we're gonna come back in 10 days, have that a little more clear, so we're all on the same page.
So you all already approved the motion on Mike. So are we rescinding
No.
that temporarily or we're all,
Let's just resend that and make sure they're okay with that. I mean, Mike wants the car, but he might,
right, but let's just
but
make sure that,
make sure he understands
Right.
he could get $10,000 each year he doesn't have the car, not $10,000 one
I'll
time.
withdraw my
So-
second, you withdraw your, whatever.
It is so
do
much
you
fun.
want, do you
Okay.
need a motion to,
Yes,
Just to be safe, just a motion to rescind
I
that previous
move
motion.
to,
Resend.
Rescind.
what he said?
Mr. Roper's motion.
no,
Is there a second? I would second.
Second,
vote,
Yeah.
yes. Okay,
we'll start over. We'll put it in writing and we'll get it done in 10 days.
The way I would go about that, if I had a recommendation, is as part of their position, both operations lieutenant and chief have an employment understanding that was approved, that they signed and was approved by the board. I'd recommend reviewing those and amending them as appropriate. That way you have something written and
Yeah.
we can just
No, I like
incorporate it
that.
into the personnel
Very
file.
good.
Good call, Luke.
There you go.
I don't think there's anything in there about that we provide a car to, that's
No.
just, yeah,
I think but we tack it to that as the vehicle.
Right.
In case we need to go back
Yeah, that's
ever again.
It's generally part of the organizational minutes because the
Everyone
IRS
feels
considers
like
it
actually-
implementation, so we need it on record.
if we're gonna call her,
And
The rest of
Amanda
your
being
tenure.
her HR background.
Yes, you probably be.
Yeah,
You'll take care of it.
okay,
You
all
and
right.
Mr. Roper will make it all work.
we're gonna.
Fiscal officer.
Call it like an optional vehicle,
I think I mentioned at the top of
OVA,
the meeting that,
OVA.
But yeah,
our auditor, requested.
an extension.
Just,
Extension to the end of September, so it's our expectation at this point that the audit would be done through the end of September. And I would request a, motion to approve the resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the company auditor.
I'll make that motion.
second, vote,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And request a motion for approval of payroll and disbursements.
I'll make that motion,
yes.
second. Do I have a second?
Yeah, good.
Yes, all in favor, yes,
Yes.
aye.
I've been moving heavy stuff all day. Tired.
Okay, anything else for the good of the cause? Hearing none, I move to adjourn,
Second.
vote, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a wrap,
Jim, how things have been.
spirited debate tonight.
Going good,
Okay.
you all good.
Okay.